Hello and welcome to the Kindred Essence Tarot and to my reading, which is a soulmate that you could meet in 2024. So in part one of this reading, the camera actually ran out of space before I could get to pile 4. So if you watched part one of this reading and you chose part 4 now becomes the green pencil crayon becomes part the first pile. So pile 4 of part 1 becomes 1 of part 2, if that makes sense. So yeah, the green pile 4, the green pencil crayons. We've got 4. So for the part 2, we've got the soulmate from part 1, and then we've got 3 additional soulmates. So we've got green, we've got turquoise, we've got brown, and we've got white over there. So I'm going to be doing some remote viewing before I look at the cards, and then I'm going to see what I can pick up for the soulmate that you could meet. So let's go to pile 1 or part 4 of part 1, but 1 of part 2. All right, let's get started. Okay, pile number 1. Let's see what I can get. So I'm getting an energy of somebody who likes to be outside. Someone who likes to be outside, but so they've got a very a personality where they like to be outside, but they're also fiery, and I heard something. They tend to be a little bit too or they could, one of their flaws could be that they're a little bit too speedy on the road, but not by maybe 15 over, or not super speedy, but just a tad too speedy. So they need to sort of calm their emotions, which is why they go into nature. So it's sort of like this internal battle that they're fighting with themselves, is that they have a really calming side, but they've also got a side that likes to speed. So I got Scott. That's one name that came for Tom, Scott, Tom, David, the word Babylon came up. I don't know, or something that starts with B. Sometimes it's just the first letter and it will come up. I'm hearing a really neat haircut, they always have to have their hair done. So they could be a little bit fashion conscious, and dress very a metrosexual way. What else? They have a very distinct walk. They walk very, very distinctly and very confidently. They walk very distinctly and very confidently. I'm hearing people won't find this person lacking in confidence. Interesting. But then they have a green thumb too. They like nature. Something about a farm, or maybe they're farming or gardening runs in their genes, so they really enjoy planting. So yeah, they've got really a metrosexual, well-dressed sense of style, but yet they like the garden as well. Interesting. Costin, I kept on hearing, so maybe that's, I don't know what that could be, a last name, could be a place. Texas, I heard too, Texas. They could be from Texas or enjoy. And I saw cattle farming. So it's like they have this side that's really in the so it's sort of like they're between being really their favorite, I keep on hearing their favorite vacation is is really roughing it out in the wilderness, or a really nice upscale side. So it's like they have this dueling side of that, somebody who dresses really well, who likes the really nice fancy things in life, to somebody who's really an outdoor adventurer, very even likes roller coasters, or they like cowboy like getting on a horse and going out in the wilderness. So really, so two different sides. So that could be balanced. So they kind of have a balanced side, even between their masculine and feminine. I keep on getting balanced. They could have Libra or Libra energy. I don't want to get too caught on the astrology, but yeah, Libra comes to mind. Gemini in lesser but circumstance or less. Libra seems to be very like a very balanced. It could be that in the chart, very balanced. So they could have a calming influence, calm, but very strong. Like I kept on hearing John Wayne, like John Wayne energy, like that very confident John Wayne. So like Texas, I kept on getting Texas. So maybe they have Texas roots, or they like the cowboy out in the sun energy. But then then it's balanced with, I see a really well dressed, like almost model type energy. Like they really dress super well, so they won't look disheveled. I'm hearing even when they're in their cowboy energy, it can be organized. It can be, and I'm also hearing Capricorn too. It could be a Libra or a Capricorn, somebody who's kind of balanced. But it could be other signs too. It's just kind of the energy I'm picking up, like a balanced energy, a strong energy. Could even be a Taurus, even a very balanced energy and strong outdoors. So let's see, what do we have for the cards. We've got Two of Cups in reverse, Queen of Pentacles. So yeah, that outdoor type of energy with the Queen of Pentacles, that definitely, because the Queen of Pentacles is very outdoors. King of Pentacles, wow. So yeah, that, like, interesting. I got like the sort of Texas farm or outdoor energy, and then Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and the Chariot. Yeah, like that moving forward, that I picked up on, like a very energy. But then it's interesting because I said they have a green thumb, and then we've got the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Empress. So it's sort of like, we'll move these so they're in the frame. So it's sort of like, yeah, they like that growing, because the King of Pentacles is close to the earth, right? Like that sort of, so they have that energy, and like I said, yeah, they might have that farmer energy in their background and have that too. So it's like the Empress is about growing, and the King of Pentacles is and the Queen of Pentacles, but particularly the King of Pentacles, very much about growing, outdoor. But then I said they have a metrosexual, like that balance too. It's kind of, they have two different sides of themselves. That outdoor farmer Texan, which is definitely the King of Pentacles, combined with growing, the Empress, definitely have that energy. But then the metrosexual energy, and if you look at the Chariot, it's sort of like, that looks like an energy of very well dressed. So it's all that energy there. And then the Two of Cups, interesting. So it's like these two sides of them. There could be I'm hearing they could be a loving person underneath their energies. Yeah, that's what I'm getting with this card. But I'm also getting, like I said before, the two sides, the Two of Cups, the two sides of themselves. So yeah, this is an interesting person, an interesting energy, the two sides of themselves. But I'm also hearing, yeah, the two different sides of themselves, but also they can be a loving energy, a loving, warm energy. Interesting. Let's see if there's anything else I can pick up. Zach, I hear in some cases. G, something that starts with the name G. I heard Gord. I don't know if that's a name, but Gordon. Or Gordenhofer. I don't know if that's a name. Gordenhofer, Gordon. Yeah, a very strong energy. I'm hearing a very strong with the Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and then the Empress. They're able to grow. I'm hearing through their different sides. They're able to grow what they want to the world, and it kind of confounds people because they sense that they have, two different sides to them, but yet these two sides seem to fit together so like well that it's like, oh, okay, that's who they are. But it's like two different sides, but it's like kind of an egg that fits to, or I don't know, what do you call it, like an Easter egg that fits together. But yeah, interesting. John Wayne, farmer, Texan vibes with the pentacles. So yeah, interesting. So they really might like, I'm hearing and then I hear, interesting, I hear a song. They may like the song, or maybe this is their theme song, but I hear, the song Home, Home on the Range, where the deer and the antelope play, where never is heard a discouraging word. Home, home on the range. Anyway, I think I'll leave the reading at that. I think I illustrated what kind of person they are, the energies of that. So that was, yeah, pile 4 of pile 1 becoming pile 1 of pile 2. So 4 of 1 became 1 of 2, if that makes sense. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that reading. And yeah, so let's see, pile 2. Let's see, what do we have with a turquoise pile? One of my favorite colors. Let's see. Okay, so this person, I'm hearing they have a very soft and soothing energy, and almost Cancer energy of like people just want to go up to them and tell them their problems. So this is a kind of a nurturing person. Somebody who's they're calming and nurturing, but they get kind of overwhelmed by people's energy. So they could be an HSP or a highly sensitive person as well. They find that, yeah, people would just burden them with their problems. Interesting. So they could be, I'm hearing they like birds. They like to hang out with birds. They hang out with nature. They could even work as a zookeeper or a nature reserve, or kind of be interested in these things. They like to be close to nature, outside. What kind of this sweet, outdoor, loving, cherub-like energy, but not too sweet. Like, not sickly sweet, but just kind of a slightly, like you could like make them into a little doll, like if you were to shrink them down into a bite size, not bites, like, I don't know what I'm talking about, but like you could, like, I don't know, like I could see them almost being doll-like or something. Doll-like, not doll, but anyway, I'm gonna to go on to another, get what else, let's see what else I get. I heard the word Mary, Sandra, Sierra, Anne. They kind of have a feminine energy. And if they're male, they may have like, but not in a, it doesn't, when I say they have a feminine energy, it's not necessarily to like, like if it's a male, it's not that there's anything wrong with males that have feminine energy, but if if you don't like that, it doesn't go too far in that direction with the male. It's just a slight rounded out, like they may have a very sweet, well-formed face. It almost seems angelic. And like, yeah, I'm getting earth angel vibes. People just want to tell them, like, they could be very well liked. Somebody who is very well, I mean, also, yeah, like they could be someone who's very, whether it's a guy or a girl, they could be someone who was very well liked in high school, like the person that everyone wanted to be class president because they were just so nice to, the person that's kind of nice to everybody, even like they don't, like if they're popular in high school, they wouldn't be like somebody who's like, oh, I'm going to be only nice to the cool people. They're nice to everybody. Sort of the, what's the word? They would be kind of like the diplomat who's sort of like, oh, well, we'll just smooth things over. They don't, if they were the popular person, they didn't really like being mean to the unpopular people. They were nice to everybody. So earth angel vibes, but sort of ones that fit in quite well. They fit in. And see what else. They like sort of good, like bread. I'm getting really fluffy bread or buns. with like that they like, but they kind of, they don't like to eat it that much, but when they see it, they eat fluffy white buns. Interesting. Let's see, what do we have here? Four of Swords. Yeah, I said before that kind of, people always tell them their problems, so there could be like kind of being overwhelmed, being an earth angel, being overwhelmed. Well, yeah, so they're sort of, they're an earth angel, but there could be kind of like, 'cause there's earth angels that get walked on a bit too much, but they're not quite, I'm hearing they're not quite the earth angel that's walked on. Because you know, like, because a lot of times people come to this planet and their souls are too, they're too angelic, and they get, but I'm not getting the sense, they're just kind of like well liked. They could be well liked at work. People always tell them their problems. They get overwhelmed by this. Nine of Cups. So yeah, I'm just getting from the Nine of Cups just an all-encompassing light-filled energy. A light-filled energy, but then sort of worry too. I'm seeing with the Four of Swords, you see she's got her hands on her head. It's sort of like this person's worried, but I'm saying, yeah, this person could be, you know, Ace of Wands. So just sort of, I see this light energy emanating. That's what I see with the Ace of Wands. And Knight of Pentacles. And the Four of Wands. So it's a very victorious card. Like, they're kind of, what I'm getting is they kind of create a stable base for people, and they move forward. Like with the Knight of Pentacles, they move forward at a slow, balanced, steady race. Like, people appreciated their balanced personality, right? Like, they get along with everybody. People appreciate their balanced personality. They're stable. Like, they feel a sense of being emotionally stable. But yeah, definitely an earth, like somebody who's, I heard the word Michael too, so it could be even Archangel Michael energy. Interesting, yeah, Archangel Michael energy. So they've got a nice aura to them, but it's not the type, like sometimes people will have you know, a lot of light, and they'll be attacked. But this person, they seem to be so diplomatic that they don't get attacked by other people that much. Like, they just sort of, they fit in, and they know how to, it's like they've created an energy field from their earth angel origins that just fits in. Because a lot of times earth angels or star people, they don't fit in. They really get bashed around quite a bit. But this person doesn't seem to. They just create this sort of warm light that sort of, and I'm not saying that they necessarily always had an easy life, but they tend to, like, they just kind of seem to have a good family, well liked in high school. They seem to have a fairly, the energy I'm picking up on at least is not having the severe traumas that I can pick up in sometimes other groups, right? It's just sort of like, they just seem to come to this reincarnation to sort of create light and warmth without the kind of traumas that other earth angels or sort of alien people or ascended masters have to go through. Interesting energy. You never know what you're gonna get. So I think that's what we have for pile number 2. And yeah, and I keep on hearing they have a golden glow around them. People sense this golden glow. Interesting. From like the energies they bring in from the other realms. Interesting. So that's pile 2. And you'll feel it's almost this yellow warmth. Interesting. So golden aura. Yeah, I keep on hearing, yeah, they have a golden aura. Kind of like this color, I think, of these you know, these wonderful pillowcases. All right, so let us see. Now that was pile 2. I hope you enjoyed that. Now it is time for pile 3. Let's see what I can get for channeled before I get to pile 3. Okay, pile 3. So I'm hearing that this person, I'm hearing the words, they kind of have a very hard life. And I'm hearing, interesting. I'm hearing the energy of like somebody who like maybe they're interesting, like they had like some sort of dark trauma in their past, like their parents may have been street people, or they know people So they've kind of, and they look very together. I'm hearing they could look, it's like they kind of, they have this energy of looking very together and like, you know, well dressed, physically fine, but it's like they have got this sort of dark cloud over them from their family past or something. Or someone may have done something really dark. Or yeah, or there's some really dark trauma that's happened, like someone like but they're good, they're a good energy. Their energy sense is being good. Interesting. Let's see, what else can I get? I don't know, it's an interesting thing that came up, but I'm hearing it, they're quite spiritual, but they like to ground that into this reality. Like they definitely have a spiritual side, but they're kind of, they like to sort of they get have a creative side too. I'm hearing they have a very creative side to them, like very creative. Like they could be like to write something, or poetry even. They like poetry, like they like the way words fit together. They're kind of fascinated by shapes too, or fascinated by words, something like that. Woodworking, making things, like kind of. I'm hearing they're fascinated by the little things, so like a man working on a piece of wood would be fascinating to them. I'm hearing the word cheval or something. Let's see what else. Get some more names. I'm hearing 11. Like something about 11. They could be a birth path 11, or 11 is significant to them. They like cafes. They could like cafes. Yeah, they like, or 7-Eleven. Something about, they may have worked at a 7-Eleven. They're kind of, I'm hearing they could be on the taller side, but they could also have like a sort of a distinct, they could seem taller than they actually are because of their presence, And yeah, they like writing. I'm hearing they like writing. The word Hawaii came to mind. So did China. So I'm hearing they may be like 15%, like a bit of, or like, I don't know, like they could be mixed different races. Like I'm hearing kind of a neat blend of different. That doesn't sound bad, but like I'm hearing the kind of a handsome or attractive blend of different nationalities. I hope that doesn't come across as like I don't know, offensive, but yeah, just like a sort of like, it could be a bit Japanese, a bit German, a bit Haitian, even a bit Mexican, and then just like a combination of like 5 or 6 nationalities, but it works together and they've got a really nice, I hear nice skin, like really nice skin. And but yeah, I kept doing something truly traumatic, like something in their past. I even heard like, you know, the Rwandan, like it could, their great grandparent or something, like grandparents or parents might have witnessed the Rwandan genocide, or or I'm hearing also the Holocaust, like their great or the grandparents might be have been in the Holocaust or experience. So this is deep ancestral trauma in their background. Like it's something, or someone might have ended up on the street and died and they felt guilty about it or something. So they have sort of an affinity for street people because they had like 1 or 2 people in their family ended up on the street, or some trauma, be a Holocaust survivor, something dark in their lineage. But they've got like a sort of a fascinating family trajectory, if that makes any sense. But see what else. I'm hearing piercing eyes, kind of bluish gray eyes, could be possibly but yeah, kind of piercing eyes. But yeah, they have a taller, almost model-like structure. Even if they're not, you know, when some people seem taller when they're, I'm hearing they could seem taller without being actually that tall. Like they seem to be kind of reaching through the stars, but they're not that as tall as they seem. Just their body structure is svelte almost, or strong or svelte, if that makes any sense. And let's see what else. Yeah, let's get to the car, or let's see. They could like to fly and like to fly to different places. Like they could really like to fly. And let's see, what do we have? We've got the Three of Wands. So yeah, they like to get out there. I've got three, and then the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, oh, interesting. I talked about like there's some trauma in there, and then interesting because we've got. For some reason I just pulled 3 cards for this pile, but normally pull card 4 or 5 or something. But Three of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, and the Hermit. It's interesting because I got something dark in their family lineage. And then we've got the Ten of Pentacles, which is, you know, about family lineage. And then the Hermit, which is sort of you look at this card, it's kind of a dark energy. But it's like, they're kind of metropolitan, like they travel a lot. I'm hearing with the Three of Wands, like they get out there. Like the world, I'm hearing the world is very small to them because I'm hearing their passport is like very, they could have done a lot of traveling, almost to make sense, if that makes sense to make, like they may have traveled to the place where there was the trauma of their whatever family trauma or something, like going to Germany if they were like, for example, Jewish, and putting their great grandfather like put in the concentration camps, like, so they almost have to make sense of human evil. Like they have almost a deep introspective mind because of the evil or suffering that something has happened in their family. So they've got that sort of deep introspective mind. And yeah, so I'm hearing like, yeah, very like fascinating person, fascinating family, and like metropolitan, and seem taller, like a nice eyes, seems taller than they are because of their kind of tall like stature. Even if they're not tall, and they could be tall, but they could have kind of a taller. I keep on hearing this image of them being pulled towards the sky as seeming taller, and yet brought towards this earth too, and always needing to expand. Well, always seeming to need to know, always seeming to need to understand. Interesting energies. So I think that's all we've got for pile number 3 of part 2 of the soulmate reading. And now let's get to soulmate number 4, the white pencil crayon pile. So let's see, what can we get from this? So I'm hearing that this person, okay. So I'm hearing that this person, they could be from Iceland, or someplace up north, or Inuit, or kind of something very cold. Like they could be accustomed to cold temperatures. Like Greenland or Russia. They could even be Russian. I see a Russian hat for some reason, but they're kind of like Siberia. They enjoy the energy of the snow and being like in Russia or the Arctic. Like they have this real thing for that. So that could be their energy, or what they're interested in, or who they are. Let's see what else. They could have blonde hair. They could I'm kind of seeing they could be more muscular in their arms. I hear more muscular. What else? Or they could like to ski. Something about like the Swiss Alps, but Russia I get. Like I see a Russian hat, or Like they really like that energy. And I'm hearing they like broccoli. They like to make sure, I don't know why that comes to mind. Or something, maybe they hate it. Something to do with broccoli. They may have hated broccoli. Now they like broccoli or something. They changed their mind about broccoli. I don't know. It's a random. I'm hearing Svitgard. Or, let's see, Schwally or something. Janice Joplin. I don't know. Let's see what else. Let's see what else comes to mind. I'm hearing they don't like to entertain other people who are bored, or they don't get bored. They don't like to entertain people who get bored. And I'm also hearing fishing. They like to fish, salmon fishing, anything, something to do with the Arctic, and salmon fishing and igloos is fascinating to them. Like those sort of, like everyone likes to go to like, you know, hot, warm, tropical areas, right? But like they're different. Like they've got almost like a different constitution than somebody who is like born in the tropical areas. They've got like a different constitution that's kind of very adjusted to cold, right? Because it's interesting. It's different because lots of people like to go, you know, and be in warm climates and what have you. But it's almost like and the way that people seek out warm climates, right, for vacations, right? You know, going to Mexico. They like to basically seek out cold climates. Interesting. So I'm hearing, it's an interesting random thing, but they may be interested in cloning or alien experiments. They could even, interesting, and this, I don't want to sound alarming, but they may be part of an alien experiment, or their lineage, like, which is more common than people think. But they may have like an alien origin that makes their how they respond to temperatures. They may have been part of they may be a star seed that's part of an alien experiment. Huh. They're interested in aliens. A little bit fearful of them because maybe they know that they've been part of a way to experiment. It sounds funny, but they like the ocean. There's something about the ocean too, but the deep depths. Like they like to go to places that people don't go. Like they're not the type that wants to go to Cancun. They're the types that will want to go to like vacationing into like a weird location that you've never heard of, that's very obscure, that costs like, I don't know, $12,000. One of those weird vacations that costs an arm and a leg, but it's unusual to go to. They like going to unusual spots that no one likes to go to. That they like if they're on the beach, they'd like to find a spot that not everyone is congregating to. So I guess a bit of loner vibes, but not really. It's just more of a constitutional thing. Interesting. So let's see, what do we have for the pile now? Let's see, what do we have for what's in the pile now? We've got Five of Swords. Interesting. We've got Queen of, interesting, with such different energies, like the Queen of Wands, a very strong, hot energy, and the Five of Swords is kind of that defeated energy. So it's sort of like a contrast is in them, in terms of what they like, in terms of like I said before, again, like what people like to go on vacation, they like to do the opposite. Everything is fine. So I am hearing that where everything is fine, they may be a little bit reticent to talk about their feelings. Like they're kind of, like they try and get in touch with their feelings, but sometimes they're a little bit funny with emotions, if you will, like funny with them. Like they're kind of, what's the word? Like just they don't like to be overly emotional, although they can be emotional sometimes. But yeah, they don't like to be emotional. They could have just gotten over something hard, but they like to sort of get over it in their own way. They don't really like to bleed everywhere about it, and so they may have gotten over a defeat too with the Five of Swords, and it's like they don't like to bleed over things with the world. They like to move on. So yeah, with the world, they also like, like travel, like I said, that they like to go to different areas, and it's like but unusual areas. Like they like to go somewhere else than usual almost. That's what I'm picking up too. So yeah, like they have, and then I'm hearing light, kind of, they could have light skin color, almost, this kind of like, they could look unusual looking, like almost like, but not in a bad way, like they're attractive way, but kind of like that sort of, like Iceland unusual. I don't know what I'm talking, like kind of a really fascinating, their eyes too, like sort of like almost cold blue eyes, but not like, a nice, yeah, and like a unusual but nice energy, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I think I've got everything, and I'm hearing that your souls will have an immediate energetic pull, like sort of like, oh, because you may have like have an interesting, I'm hearing you may share some of their unusual characteristics, and because you may be from the same soul group, I'm hearing that your souls may have this immediate sort of crackle or pull from this energetic unusualness. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I'm not always sure what I'm channeling, but I just try and get it out as best as I can. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that reading, and have a terrific day. Bye-bye.